Man, I'm truly blessed. It's just a dream come true.
From Chicago, at guard, 6'3", number 1.
I'm talking about roots. I can't hate where I'm from, 'cause where I'm from make me. I came from the bottom of the slums, but now I got me. That's because of my roots. I'm talking about roots. I'm talking about roots. Hey, I can't be mad at what got me ahead. I don't regret my ghetto struggle due to my success. It ain't that beautiful to ride or overcoming stress. Top ramen noodle soup, happy for the fact I was fed. Look at me now, but all before, hey, Mr. Skid Row. The dirty South ain't just the name, the way I been po. The projects, brown and white, I call it Gizmo. Went from a gremlin to them Garden Jigger video. Can't find a meal to a meal, only God know it. No record deal to a deal, I work hard for it. Can I live to I'm living like my mama told it? Before you reap it, gotta sow it, yeah, I'm talking about roots. I can't hate where I'm from, 'cause where I'm from make me. I came from the bottom of the slums, but now I got me. That's because of my roots. I'm talking about roots. I'm talking about roots. Hey, still on my Kuta Kinte. Somebody had to bleed just for me to get away. My sister had to leave, I respect the sensei. Oh yeah, I had to grieve, but I'm stronger till this day. Pain, I can't ignore it. You might say I'm ignoring. I mistake it for courage. Victory so gorgeous. Make it through 2 bush, I can make it through any forest. Hunger gave me the push, but the bottom is so important. 37 Avenue, 187th Street, Miami, Kansas City. Now I'm part of a legacy. I'm thankful for the hood. What is love without jealousy? There's only 5 letters really help me. I'm talking about